Yeah. So, hey everyone, welcome to the podcast. That's all funny today. My guest today is a touring musician for 20 years, tattoo artist, movie director, writer, and you do pretty much do everything for movies. And upcoming movie Severance Mountain, that's gonna be available everywhere, September, well, not everywhere, just for streaming, September 13th. Ethan Henry, how you doing, Ethan?
Pretty good. How's it going, man?
Not too bad. No, thank you for your time today. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, I'm all about it, man. We've been going around and doing different podcasts and interviews. So this is on my list, and I'm looking forward to it, man. I'm pretty excited.
No, thank you. And so I'm seeing here you do tattoos, movies, and music.
Yes, sir.
Is this what you saw yourself doing when you were younger? What life did you have picking back then? Were
Well, when I was
your
well,
parents have anything?
yeah, when I was a kid, I thought I was gonna be a professional skateboarder. I rode skateboards when I was a kid, and I was always
Mm.
doing that stuff. And then when I was 15, I got into music, and then I was like, oh, I'm gonna be a professional musician. And then I'm just that kid, man. I can't stop dreaming. You know what I mean? So I did the band thing, and I'm still in my band. We're going out this weekend, and we're playing an upstage fest in out in Pennsylvania, I think. And I don't know, about 15 years ago or so, we've always been making stories up, me and my buddies, and just would have an idea about this person, then we'd elaborate for an hour on this whole world, this idea. And
Hmm.
I wrote a script. I showed it to one of my friends. I was like, dude, I wrote a script. They go, what do you mean you wrote a script? I'm like, I don't know. I just wrote a script, this little short thing, and then we filmed it. And then from that point on, it just kind of, I loved it. You know what I mean? I loved the idea of dreaming and telling these crazy stories of these fake worlds. And here I am, like 15, 20 years later, finally got a movie with some legs and starting to do what it's supposed to do, I think.
Man, that's amazing. No, and starting with I'm gonna start with like the tattoo artist thing. Do you remember the first tattoo you got and when you got the itch for it?
The first tattoo I got, I think I did myself, actually. I'm 48, so I was somehow I figured out how to make a homemade gun with like a toothbrush and like a little RC remote, like
Like a
power supply. And
like a prison, almost like a prison type thing.
yeah, this is before the internet, so I don't know how I even figured it out. I mean, little 14-year-old Ethan, like tearing apart this stuff somewhere. Someone told me how to do it, and I figured it out. I was just really good
Hmm.
with my hands like that. So I made this tattoo machine, and then um, I would never advise that this day and age. I'm a total germaphobe. So when I think of little Ethan, I'm like, what was he thinking? But but yeah, I just got into it young, and I always thought the guy on TV with the tattoos looked cool, and kind of just turned into this cool career. You know what I mean? I never when I first started doing it, it wasn't that cool. And I remember people were like, "You gonna do tattoos? What do you?" I'm like, "Yeah, I think I'm gonna do tattoos," and that's been my job. For I've been doing this for 25 plus years now. So
I do recall a time when tattoos were considered like bad. Like I know I when you were going to a career, you'd hide your tattoos
yeah,
because they kept you from getting jobs, and now everyone shows off their tattoos with pride. Everyone.
I tattoo a lot of professionals, like a lot of teachers, um, doctors, like law enforcement, like people that have like careers where 15 years ago you wouldn't be getting tattooed, but now they're
Mhm.
all doing it. Superintendents, it's wild, man, and it's probably large. Those professionals are a large number of my clientele, so it's changed. The narrative on tattoos has changed. I mean, it depends on
Yeah.
where you go to your buddy's garage who bought a tattoo machine off of Amazon or eBay. I mean, maybe now we fall back into those old ideas. You got this tattoo you only paid $20 for. But I have a professional shop, and I kind of try to keep up with those standards.
No, it's great to see. I don't know, just that we both lived in that age where the stigma sort of fell off of tattoos. So that's pretty interesting.
It's
That you saw it from the beginning and saw it grow in a better way, a
I
better
always
shade of light.
I got lucky. I accidentally chose the right path, because if there was a long time I was like, oh, I mean, I was doing it, I was working, and then one day, Miami Ink was all over. My mom's like, I watched this show, Miami Ink, and I'm like, you watched the show called Miami Ink? I'm like, what? And then from that point on, Kat Von D, and then everything that just kind of followed. You know what I mean? It really was. It was just this. I got lucky. I made an accidental career, smart career choice. You know.
Oh yeah, you bet it all on black for really. And then you're a touring musician for over 20 years. Are you in one particular band, or were you in multiple bands? Did you play multiple instruments or just one?
Well, I do play multiple instruments, but I've been playing with the band Freya since 2004. We used to be on Victory Records. There's a band we play hardcore metal, and my bandmates, my singer and guitar player and bass player, they're all from a band called Earth Crisis. That they were like a legendary hardcore band in the scene, and they're still actually an active band doing stuff, and they're still involved with our band. But yeah, we've been doing it. I got off for a little bit. I have triplets, and once my kids, I pulled back from everything for a little bit. I've gotten the bubble. Once now they're 13, so about 4 or 5 years ago I started coming back out of the bubble, and now I'm back in the band. We have a new album out, and we're playing Upstage Fest this weekend, and we got a tour. We're going out, I think, like the Northeast, out towards Fargo. In September, when my movie comes out, I'll actually be on the road with my band doing a tour with this band called Rig Time, and yeah, it's been pretty cool, man. It's like tattooing and bands. It's just been this kind of surreal, tattooing is where it's at. That's where my success lies when it comes to really being able to do the things that I do. But the band has held its own, man, and we're still kicking 20 years. I think we just had our 20-year anniversary, so it's been really cool.
Well, congratulations.
Yeah, thanks, man.
No, that's a great. And you also, I mean, you score music too for movies. You direct music videos. You direct movies from your own company, Ignorant Tourist Productions.
Yes, sir.
When did this passion for directing and writing hit you, and the inspiration turn from like you said, a hobby of just telling stories to actually we're gonna do something about it? We're gonna do it.
I've always been a dreamer. I mean, I've always dreamed big. I always thought, I mean, I could do that. If someone's doing it, that means I could probably do it, And it's all just about, willpower and the drive. And there's a lot of other factors, obviously, like as you start to get into making real movies, it costs money. And where I live, there's not a lot of people investing in that type of stuff. So, having, the career that I do with tattooing and the success that I've had with that allowed me to, find other people like me, whether it be like an actor or whether it be my director of photography, John Sovey. He runs Sove's Media. He's made videos for Wiz Khalifa. He did a documentary called The Perfect Bid about The Price is Right. It was on like all these streamers a couple years ago, and a few others. And he's just done some really cool stuff. And his eye for film is great, but through the success of my other career, I was able to afford these people. And I think that's where a lot of artists and independent filmmakers, that's where you struggle. You try to get the best camera that you can afford. Your buddy got it. And I got really lucky with this guy because his eye and his equipment is just so top notch, and his just what he can pull off for what we're doing is amazing. So, when you start meeting people like that, you can dream a little bigger. And the next thing's a little bigger. Then you meet a really good actor, like, oh my God, this person can do this. And you can dream a little bigger. So it's these little things, And then when you realize, what you can and can't pull off, it just constantly, you take it to the next level. Well, I can make a body part, Oh, I can make a skull. Oh, Amazon actually helps a lot too, bring your stories to life. Because, for example, I'll make like a limb, and instead of actually putting my hand in a mold and doing all that stuff, which I would like to do, and that would be the way, you can buy these fake hands they'd sell at Spirit or on Amazon and stuff, and I take them all apart, I modify them, I repaint them, I'll take like press-on nails to make it look like real fingernails, and I'll fill in all the creases so it looks like real, and then I make my own blood, and then eventually for a quick shot it looks pretty legit. You know what I mean? So just a lot of as you get these resources, you can dream bigger. You know what I mean? And you can see life.
No, definitely. Music video. I remember back in the '90s, growing up, music video like a Spice Girls cost like millions to make, and now a music video like that is probably fractions of that. It just takes a little creativity, ingenuity, and like you said, like looking around and knowing the right people. But you can get it done almost in your own backyard now.
You can, and the trick, especially with us is, I feel like we made a really high level independent film visually. But there's still a lot of because there isn't a big company overseeing, telling you what you should and shouldn't be doing. It's still an indie film, so it still has that flow. Indie films have like I don't know, they have a different vibe than a big Hollywood film. They're always paying attention. You gotta kiss at this point. You gotta fall in love here. You kill someone here. You're happy here. There's a formula to it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Film doesn't have to follow that formula, and so it's cool to be able to be in control, and it's cool to have this thing that looks really cool but still indie. You know what I mean? So it's I don't know. It's just I love making indie films. I think it's great.
No, that's great. In your newest film, I have your Severance Mountain comes out September 13th. It's going to be available to stream on Amazon, Apple TV, iTunes, Google Play. I'm going to show a trailer real quick for the movie right now.
Wouldn't I?
Maybe the fact that there was a body a few feet off the trail?
Hey, Toby.
I was beginning to think you weren't going to show up.
What are we doing out here anyway?
There's a missing girl in these woods.
Doesn't the path go that way?
That path does. But this path leads to the mansion.
Wow, I'm getting major horror thriller vibes just from that trailer. It looks amazing.
That's what I want.
And not only did you direct this, but you wrote it and you scored it too. What like, did you want to take all the reins on that, or do you feel like you were the only one who could take the reins for like scoring this, writing it, directing it?
Well, I had originally wrote it right after COVID had happened. Me and my DP had come up with this idea to come up with a story that we could film relatively easy, relatively cheap, with few locations and all this stuff. I made like a concept, and then I ended up hooking up with a friend of mine, Melissa Godin Hunt. She's a fantastic writer, a good friend. And so I showed it to her, and she's like, "Hey, there's some holes in this. Can we work out together?" So she brought a whole different dynamic to the story that I didn't see, And as we were writing and developing the story, we really started to gel and come up with these different ideas. And once we got something that we thought was cool, she watches a ton of horror movies. I'm more of a sci-fi thriller kind of guy. So her insight really kind of helped shape it into being more of a horror. I had it really more disturbing, the way I would think something would be scary. So once we got it and we felt pretty good, we just set the film up, set the time up to film. I made storyboards for it, being aware of all our limitations and stuff. So, there are things that I wish I could have done different, but yeah, we just tried to make something for as little as we could, look as cool as we could, look as like professional or Hollywood as we could, while sticking to the budget. A lot of people in it are actually people from my hometown. I just run into a dude like, "Dude, you could totally play the chief of police in my movie." Like, I'm not an actor. I'm like, "I think you could do it, man." And so I'd pull these people in. Some of them acted in high school. Some of them are actors. A lot of my leads are. One guy, Cade Galori, he's from L.A. Flew him out and stuff. Nicole Morgan, she plays the lead, my Scream girl. She's from our acting in a lot of different things. And there's a few others. And yeah, it was just really cool. I looked at it kind of like a test, an experiment. Like, what can we pull off? I always say I MacGyvered a movie. I have some bubble gum and some toothpaste. Can I make some sort of crane to get over this wall, out of this cage, and make it work? And I feel like we MacGyvered a movie, and it's pretty cool. You know what I mean? So, it was really something that was developed by me and Melissa.
No, and that's got to be amazing to see like an idea that you said you had for quite a while, and just bouncing it around, talking about it, and then it come to actual fruition and creation. It's got to be like a great feeling to see it.
It is. It's funny because it's not where I would have normally went. I wouldn't have done a horror. I want to make a horror movie because I am so into sci-fi and thriller. But I'm going through it and doing it and completing it and having this product. And, it's kind of like you have your kid and they're riding their bike and you're getting ready to let go of the seat. And you don't know if they're going to crash, if they're going to ride or what. And you're totally like, you're excited and you're nervous. And that's where I'm at right now. I'm like, I have no idea what to expect. I've been filming for a long time. I made a pilot for a TV show through SAG with some union actors, J. Allen Christensen and Keith Pillow. I've done a few things, you know what I mean, that they're guarded though. I don't put them out there. They're proofs of concept. I'm going to come back to them. And if this does well, I'll be showing these to people saying, well, I've done this, I've done that, I've done this. So for it to be something that is a little out of my comfort zone and to be what it is, it's exciting and terrifying. I'm curious how people are going to take it. You know what I mean? And I think coming out in Halloween, though, is a great time for any kind of movie, especially an indie film. And I think that with the way the internet is and the way kids watch YouTube and all these weird, like, cell phone horror films that people are watching, the flow is weird. It doesn't have, like, producers telling you how to make it play out. And sometimes they have an odd flow. So I think it really opens the door when an independent film like this does get to reach a streamer and can be on everybody's TV or phone or computer. I think a lot of these young kids who watch that stuff, I think they're a little more accepting to an indie film, maybe not the strongest actors you've ever seen, or maybe not the best, production. And I think, like, when it comes to like a cool indie film, I think it really, it allows it to kind of to find its place in it all. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, absolutely. And I can understand that equal amounts of excited but anxious that you may feel.
Yeah, I mean, we've been working on it for a while, and I know it's the first thing I'm presenting to the world as a filmmaker. It's not the first thing I've done, but it's the first thing I'm presenting. So there is this anxiety that comes along with that, like, oh, hope people love it, or they're not. You know what I mean? So hopefully it entertains people, if anything. And a lot of these people that worked on it, we put, it's not just me. I do have a team of people, but I tend to take, the bull by the horns and kind of move forward. I'm the executive producer. Most indie film, you said earlier, is that a choice? Did you want to write? Did you want to score it and all the stuff? And any indie filmmaker will tell you, you kind of don't have a choice when you don't have budget, when you don't have the resources, when you don't know people, whatever the case may be, you tend to have to do that. And so the cool thing that we're getting out of this so far is not a lot of people get to really bring it to streamers or bring it someplace. And, I really, because of my career, because of the flexibility of it, because of, the success I'm having with it, it's allowing me to kind of take these chances and invest in that. So it's a cool experience. You know what I mean? To do this. I have no idea what's going to happen because I haven't done it before. So I'm just hoping for the best.
No, and I hope for the best too. I know you do have a team, of course, helping you with all this, a great team, I'm sure. You said you did score the film, write and direct.
Yep.
What would you say was like the most difficult part for you of the experience? Not that I know you do have a team, but for you personally, which one was like, I wish I would have given these duties to someone else?
when it comes to writing, I love writing. I never co-wrote with somebody before, so that was a little unique. But you know, Melissa is a great friend of mine, and we have a relationship through this that you know I don't have with many other writers. I love directing. I don't think I would go through making all the props again if I didn't have to. As much as I like doing it, I can do it. It's just super time consuming. I'd rather just tell someone they did it right or wrong. I think I love the music because a lot of times in my head, as I'm filming, someone will say, "Oh, that seems a little that doesn't work." I'm like, "No, the music in my head, this is gonna work once because I'm playing the rhythm and I'm watching the rhythm of the film." I think and editing is important to me too because as I'm directing, I'm seeing this this thing unfold, so I know this. But after that, man, having to do all the credits, I had my director of photography do that. He color corrected, which I'm glad he did. I think just post stuff. I really think if I didn't have to do all the post stuff, I think if I didn't have to like worry about getting like I had to do craft, I didn't do it, but I had to hire people to do it. My hands were in so many elements of this. I think it would be nice just to have people take care of these things to make sure it flowed well. Transportation for people, hotels for people, whatever we had to do, all that stuff. I can do it, but I'd like to just be write, direct, edit, maybe pass off the score to someone else to get a different perspective. I can sit there and tell them, and doing all the props, I'd rather have someone else do that stuff. So I just
that's all part of the indie experience, though, right? That's what makes it indie for sure.
When I say it, it's not unique to me. Every indie filmmaker is doing what I'm doing. I think the only difference really is my career is allowing me to kind of just keep pushing it to the next level, at the next level. That's pretty cool. You know what I mean?
No, absolutely. And it's amazing, what you do have coming out, Severance Mountain. What advice would you give to writers or musicians, directors who feel like their art may never be seen or reach the masses like you've, grinded to get here to? What advice would you give to them?
I would just say a lot of times opportunities don't present themselves. Sometimes you have to make your own opportunities. It's not easy. It's never been easy. I've been doing this a long time. I think it's just don't give up. I think constantly believing in myself. There was a time when I was filming and someone's like, "Oh, you're making a movie like on a cell phone? It's going to go on YouTube." I'm like, "No, I'm making a movie. What are you talking about?" And for it was that, and I'm this grown man who's got a successful business and I do all this stuff and I'm in a band and if people are like, oh, they see that and they see me doing it and stuff and they just think, oh, you need to grow up, but you're not making a movie. And then one day, all of a sudden, just keeping on it and doing it and meeting more and more people in my area and reaching out that are doing it, you start to build your little family of filmmakers, and everybody wants to do the same thing and they all have the same goal. And then one day, it's as long as you keep at it, you learn, you change, you tweak, you pivot, and then eventually you have a movie. Now the narrative's different. People are like, oh my God, Ethan made a movie. It's coming out. It's going to be on Amazon. Holy crap. Oh my God, I saw that trailer. And to me, it's just the same thing I've always been doing. We just tweak this, tweak that, tweak that. So I think perseverance, stick to the plan, believe in yourself, just keep going. It doesn't need to be about money. And yeah, it does help and makes things easier, but sometimes it's just writing something really cool, just tweaking it. You can write it 10 times. You can write it 100 times. You can redraw your storyboard. You can tweak it and tweak it and tweak it, until you get it right. Art's like that. You know what I mean? Just continue to believe in yourself and don't let someone shoot you down. You know what I mean? Art is vast. Who are they to tell you it's wrong, And if people like something that you like, that's cool. That's the bonus of it all,
No, yeah, you're absolutely right. And definitely it is about the opportunities. They are out there. They are out there for everyone. And you have to meet them at least halfway, if not all the way sometimes, to reach them.
It's tough. And but you just have to keep trying. Eventually, you're going to meet a crazy guy like me. Who's like, "Whoa, you made that," and you never know who that person is. And I mean, I don't know nobody, but I mean, I'm trying. I'm doing it. I got something coming out on TV, and to some people that are a couple steps behind me, that looks like he's so far away, but it's there. You know what I mean? If anything, I'm proving that you can do it because I don't have anybody back. You know, I have support from some pretty cool people, and you know, and I do have people that I met over the years. But this is independent. I don't have a distribution company working for me. Company that I created. That is just basically me and some of my friends. My friend Stephanie Rhodes doing social media. Her husband Kyle Rhodes helped me go on the streets doing street team style, like guerrilla kind of handing people shirts and putting flyers up and sticking stickers everywhere we can, and using my band for traveling when we hit the road. It's just a lot of boots on the ground, old school, just getting in people's faces. Hey, man, can I give you a shirt? Listen, do you like horror movies? Oh, they're freaked out. Then you start talking to them and you give them something, and they're stoked, and it's cool. So it's just a lot of like grinding. And there's more that can be done, and more people keep coming on board, but you just got to stay the course. That's what it is. You got to believe in yourself, believe in what you did, tweak it as many times as you need to, and just stay on course. You know what I mean?
No, absolutely. And I have a QR code here anyone can scan. It'll take you straight to the Severance Mountain counter website where it's counting down the days.
Yep.
There's a website at the bottom, ignoranttouristproductions.com/severant-mountain. I know it's got a little more than a month till it comes out, which is on September 13th on Amazon, Apple TV, iTunes, and Google Play.
Yeah, we're gonna be dropping, I think, a new trailer here in a couple weeks, and we have merch and stuff. I think we're getting a store built here pretty quick, but we're also gonna be giving some stuff away here as it gets closer to the date and stuff. So if you go there and follow us on Instagram, I think it's Severance Mountain Movie on Instagram. I think we have a TikTok as well. So yeah, if you're out there checking that stuff out, follow it, like it, share it, whatever you gotta do. I'm not on with all the socials, so if I'm saying it wrong, I apologize. But we're out there, and if you find it, just spread the word.
No, absolutely, and we'll look forward. I look forward to seeing this Severance Mountain again on September 13th. Available stream. And thank you, Ethan Henry, for your time. I hope nothing but success for you in this movie and anything else you do out there.
I appreciate it.
Well,
pleasure being on the show, man. And maybe you'll hear from me again.
Yeah, no, I'd love to. And thanks everyone for listening. Again, that's Ethan Henry, director of Severance Mountain. Everyone take care and have a great rest of your night. Take care. Stay safe. Bye.